Welcome to RPS Group of Schools online classes. This is session 2 for the chapter Chemical Effects of Electric Current. In the previous session, we discussed conduction of electric current through liquids. We also classified liquids as good conductors and poor conductors of electricity. In today's session, we will study electrical conductivity of water. You might have heard of distilled water. Distilled water is purified water from which all the contaminants and minerals have been removed. You will easily find distilled water in your school lab, medical room, or at a chemist shop. In the previous session, you learned to make two different types of tester to test the conductivity of various liquids. Now, use any of the two testers to check the electrical conductivity of distilled water. What do you observe when you test the conductivity of distilled water using a tester? You will observe that the bulb does not glow or the compass needle does not show any deflection. This means that distilled water does not allow electric current to pass through it. So, we can conclude that distilled water is a poor conductor of electricity. Do you think distilled water can be made conducting? If yes, can you suggest how? Yes, distilled water can be made conducting. If you add a few drops of lemon juice or few pinches of salt to distilled water, it will conduct electricity. To confirm, test the above mentioned solutions with a conductivity tester. Now, use any of the two testers to check the electrical conductivity of tap water. You will find that unlike distilled water, tap water is a good conductor of electricity. So, we can conclude that distilled water is a poor conductor of electricity, whereas tap water is a good conductor of electricity. Have you ever imagined why distilled water is a poor conductor, whereas tap water is a good conductor of electricity? Distilled water is free from any impurity, and so it does not contain any ions in it. Ion is an atom or a molecule that carries a positive or negative electric charge. Since the conduction of electric current is due to the ions in the solution, distilled water behaves as a poor conductor in the absence of ions. On the other hand, tap water contains ions such as calcium ions and magnesium ions, which make it a good conductor of electricity. Rainwater is considered the purest form of natural water. Do you think rainwater conducts electricity? Yes, rainwater also conducts electricity. When water evaporates from the Earth's surface, all the impurities and salts present in water are left behind. Rainwater is formed by condensation of these water vapor. Gases such as carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere mix with rainwater and form weak acids like carbonic acid, which dissociate and provide ions in rainwater. These ions make rainwater a good conductor of electricity. Since rainwater is a good conductor of electricity, it is advised that electricians should not carry out any electrical repair in the outdoor area during heavy rainfall. If they carry out any electrical repair in an open area during heavy rainfall, they might get an electric shock which may prove to be lethal. In the previous class, you have studied two effects of electric current: heating effect of electric current and magnetic effect of electric current. Now we will discuss the third effect of electric current, that is chemical effect of electric current. When electric current passes through a conducting solution, it causes chemical reactions. This is called chemical effect of electric current. Electrolysis is one such chemical effect of electric current. Electrolysis is the process by which ionic compounds are decomposed into simpler substances when an electric current is passed through them. Ionic compounds are the substances which contain charged particles called ions. Positively charged ions are called cations, whereas negatively charged ions are called anions. Before performing electrolysis, we need to understand some important terms related to its experimental setup. The solution or paste which conducts electric current is called an electrolyte. The conductors dipped in electrolyte and connected to the two free ends of the circuit during electrolysis are called electrodes. Electrodes are of two types. The electrode connected to the positive terminal of the battery is called anode or positive electrode. The electrode connected to the negative terminal of the battery is called cathode or negative electrode. The container with electrodes, electrolyte, and the vessel containing them is called voltmeter. It is important to note that electrolysis is accompanied by at least one of the following changes: evolution of gas bubbles at the electrodes, change in color of the electrolyte solution, and deposition of a metal at the cathode or negative electrode. Now let us try to understand electrolysis through an experiment. The aim of the experiment is to demonstrate that a chemical change occurs during electrolysis. In order to perform the experiment, you will require 4 dry cells, 2 pieces of thick copper wire, sandpaper, connecting wires, wheat flour, water, and a beaker. To perform the experiment, take 4 dry cells and arrange them to make a battery. Take 2 pieces of thick copper wires and scratch them with a sandpaper. Connect them to the battery using connecting wires. These 2 copper wires will act as anode and the cathode. Now take 2 teaspoons of refined wheat flour in a beaker and make a thin paste by mixing water in it. This paste will act as the electrolyte. Insert the ends of the 2 copper wires in this paste separately and leave the setup for about 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, you will observe that a bluish-green spot appears near negative electrode or cathode. So we can conclude that this change in the color of the electrolyte, that is wheat flour paste, is due to the chemical change caused by the passage of electric current through it. Now let's discuss some applications of electrolysis. Electrolysis is used in the extraction of metals from their ores. It is also used for production of nonmetals. Electrolysis is used for metal refining, which is refining of impure metals into pure ones. Electroplating is an important application of electrolysis. It is the process of coating a thin layer of desired metal over another metal by passing electric current. Another important application of electrolysis is electrodeposition. It is the process of increasing thickness of metallic parts by depositing a layer of metal over them by the application of electric current. That was all for today's class. Thank you.